When a person is born, he has the right to choose to be good or bad. The human reality is that it is a combination of good and bad. Evils that, if they appear and are given a field, will turn a human being into a scary creature. Throughout history, there were many people who shed blood and lost their lives to have power. Stay with Top 5 to get to know the most horrible and cruel people in history. Please subscribe to our channel and like the video before watching the video. Number 1. Adolf Hitler. The leader of the German Nazis in the 1930s and 1940s is one of the most important and discussed historical figures. During his rule, Germany became one of the most powerful countries in the world. But at the same time, he caused World War II and the killing of millions of people. Hitler is known as a very oppressive and violent dictator. He became famous for the ideology of Nazism, which included racial discrimination, humiliation of women, disabled people, etc. Hitler is known as one of the worst criminals in history because of his policies towards Jews, Romani, disabled people, etc. But the effects of his rule are still visible in the world, and many people remember him with hatred and fear. Number 2. Joseph Stalin was a Soviet leader who ruled the Soviet Union from 1922 to 1953. During his rule, he tried to turn the Soviet Union into a great world power by implementing policies such as the 5-year plan. Communism. It affects his ideologies, but at the same time, he was heavily criticized for his violent and brutal actions against opponents and people he considered dangerous. These measures caused many Soviet people to live in very difficult conditions during his rule and lose their basic rights and freedoms. For example, in the 1930s, Stalin implemented policies such as land confiscation and the imposition of communist ideology, which caused many Soviet farmers to live in very difficult conditions due to the loss of their land and the inability to provide food. Also, in the 1930s and 1940s, Stalin deprived many Soviet people of their rights and freedoms by carrying out operations such as the Katyn operation. In general, Stalin's rule caused many Soviet people to live in very difficult conditions and lose their basic rights and freedoms. This government was heavily criticized for its brutal and violent actions against the opposition and people it considered dangerous. Number 3. Vlad III. Vlad the Nailer, or Vlad Dracula. Born in 1431 AD, he ruled in 1448, 1448, 1456 to 1462 and 1462, and 1476. In the days of Ottoman rule, he pursued an independent policy in relation to Ottomans and stood against. Most of the fame of Vlad III is due to the heavy punishments and tortures he used during his reign. He tortured every prisoner he took in the many wars he participated in. It is said that he boiled a large number of them in water, or ordered them to be eaten 4 times. Number 4. Genghis Khan was the famous ruler of Mongolia who established a government over Central Asia, the Middle East and South Asia, during the Mongol dynasty. He was born in 1162 and died in 1237. Genghis Khan became one of the greatest rulers in history due to his military, leadership, and strategic abilities. By forming a powerful army, he was able to bring a vast territory under his rule, and by conquering many cities and countries, he founded the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan was a Mongol and war general who united the Mongol tribes and founded the Mongol Empire by conquering large parts of Asia, including China, Russia, Iran, and Eastern Europe. He was the grandfather of Kublai Khan, the first emperor of the Yuan dynasty in China, as well as Hulagu Khan, the first Ilkhan of Iran. Number 5. Attila. The leader of the Huns, Attila has always been a symbol of brutality in Europe. It is known that Attila killed his brothers in order to dominate the Huns. Attila called himself the Scourge of God, and the Huns under his leadership kept Europe in terror for years and brutally tortured and killed the people of the cities of Europe, especially the cities of the Roman Empire. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel for support.